Hey guys! In this video we will draw the northern lights, also known as Aurora Borealis. Before we start, you can download the color palette and the brushes we will use in the video description below. These brushes are from an exclusive brush set. You can support me and access all my exclusive brush sets and tutorials on my Patreon. You will find a link to my Patreon page below too. Without any further ado, let's begin! I will be working on a vertical canvas that is 2000 by 2500 pixels. First I'm going to change the background color into some shade of light blue or green. It doesn't really matter, I just don't want to work on a white background. But of course we will change it later. Now let me go to the disk again. And I will double tap here to select pure black color. I will draw trees at the bottom. The ones in the middle will go straight upwards, and the ones on the sides will have a small angle. This way we will make it look like we are staring at the sky from the ground. And to draw these trees I will be using a brush from Organic Set. It is called Bamboo. The size is set to 54%. So let's start drawing from the middle trees. I will start from here and make the strokes. Continue going down. And maybe I won't lift my pencil up from the canvas. Just continue making these random strokes. Going to the sides. They can be curvy, longer or shorter. Just drawing these abracadabra shapes to make it look like a pine tree from the distance. Once you get confident with this brush, you can make it faster. Just imagine you have a brush in your hand and some paint on it. So these strokes may go up, down, to the sides. They can be curvy, wavy, and have different shapes. In the end we will get something like this, and I think it looks like a pine tree. Let's draw another one on the right. I will make it a little shorter. I will first make the strokes like this to define the top, and then I will continue drawing without lifting the pencil up from the canvas, also making the strokes to the sides. Some of them will go up, and I will make this pine tree wider at the bottom. They can come closer to each other. It's totally fine. Okay, I think these two turned out fine. Let's draw a couple of more on the right side. They will have a small angle. I will lower the brush size to around 50%, so the trees are smaller. Defining the top again. Then making these random strokes quickly. I don't want to spend much time on the trees, because they're actually not the main object of our illustration. We will focus more on the northern lights. But still I wanted to draw the trees by hand, without using any stamps. This way it will look more natural and sort of messy. I will draw another tree next to this one. Also doing it very fast. Okay, let's draw 2 more trees on the left side. Starting from top, we can sort of define the trunk and then add these strokes. They can go wider in the center and then become narrow again. Just draw any shapes you wish. Okay. I will make a few branches going up here, just to get some variation. And then I will draw a shorter tree on the left from this one. Like very short. In the end, if you look from distance, they will look like trees. Finally, we need to draw trees on the sides. And as I already said, they will have a bigger angle. Let's start from this side. I will draw a small tree here. With various pressure. And not paying too much attention to the shapes. The last tree, very close to the edge. Making this fluffy top. And then adding more branches. I will make this trunk. And then add these strokes. I think it is a very interesting way to paint the trees. You can make them very fast and natural looking. Okay, the last two. On the opposite edge. I will start from here. And I will make these trees higher, because according to my idea, northern lights will go from this side. So I don't want to make this part look empty. That's why I'm making the trees higher. It will go here. I will increase the size because the trees are bigger. 55% will work. Just to make it faster. I will make these curvy shapes. They will go to different sides and with different angles. They can go even downwards. I will press more here to define these shapes, and I will paint more in the middle. Okay, the last one. Let me check how it looks. Just a couple of adjustments. And the shapes are done. Now I would like to add some texture on the trees. So I will finally open the color palette. I created this palette from a real photo of Northern Lights. To do that, you just need to click on this plus icon and from the list, select New from Photos. After you pick the required photo, a very detailed color palette with 30 colors will appear here. I'm not going to use all colors today, I will use only a few of them. But of course you can experiment with colors and use as many of them as you wish. For now I will pick this dark blue from the first column. And in the brushes, I will select Grunge brush from Textures. We can either create a new clipped layer or alpha lock this one to add textures. I'm not going to change the layer's blending mode, so I will work with this layer. Alpha locking it. The opacity of the brush is set to 80% and the size is at maximum. I will make a few strokes to add the texture on the sides of the trees. Not pressing on the pencil and keeping some black color. We assume the trees will reflect some light, but still some parts of the trees will be in shadow. Let's try to add some shade of purple, maybe this dark one. Just a couple of strokes on top. Okay, this is enough. Now let's change the background color into the one that we need. It will be this blue again. I think Northern Lights look cooler on a very dark background. So now we will start working on it. So first let's create a new layer and place it underneath. I will change the color into this one, number 8. And open the brush set with Northern Lights. The entire brush set is available on my Patreon, and in this tutorial I will be using a few brushes from it. I will place them in a single bundle and you will be able to download it for free. So let's start with the biggest shape. It is number 9. So I will set the size to 34 or 35% and tap somewhere in the middle of the canvas. Let me flip it horizontal and I will drag it to the right to match it with the edge. Now I will create one more layer and tap again. Let me also flip this one and I will drag it up. I want to make it match with the first one. So I will first scale it in uniform mode and rotate. I want to make this edge match. Now it looks fine. Maybe I will just take soft brush and add color here. Following the direction and then smudge it using smudge tool, also set to soft brush. I will make these strokes inwards, actually in different directions. Now that's better, I think. I will just add more color close to the edge. Alright. Now it looks like the continuation of this brush. We can merge these two layers. I would also like to play around with blending mode and see which works best. All these brushes can work with such blending modes as color dodge, screen, add, hard light, linear light, and some others. I think I will use color dodge here. And to add a bit more glow to this shape, I will apply bloom with a pencil. Let's make sure we have soft brush. And the settings are the following. Bloom is at 50%, burn 57%, size 34%, and transition is at maximum. I will just make the brush size smaller, like 3%, and opacity can be around 82%. I will draw on some parts to emphasize the glow. On the edge, then here, on this part, also painting more closer to the edge, and here I will increase the brush size a little and paint along the edge, making a few strokes upwards. Here I will press more to add more glow and then continue, also emphasizing this part. Okay, it looks quite shiny. Let's create another layer, and I will place it below this one. With the same color, I will be using another brush from the same set. This is brush number 5. The size can be 30%, and I will tap again. Let's rotate this one. I'll make it a little bigger, and I will also try to make it match with the previous shape, like create this transition. And this line can be parallel to the edge. But of course you can combine the brushes however you wish. Okay, I will change the layers mode to color dodge 2. It is already shiny, so I will keep it as it is. Let's continue with more brushes. So I will create a layer below this one and change the color into this from the second column. I want to use this simple brush under 2. Let's make the size 54% and tap again. I will transform it in freeform. First I will drag it down and then stretch it to the right. I will also stretch it upwards, approximately to this level. It can go slightly upper than this shape. Let's now switch to distort, and I will make the angle on the sides, same as the trees. Okay. I will set this layers mode to add. We can even try to duplicate it to make it shine brighter. I will merge it and erase this edge because it looks a little sharp. Here it is hidden under the trees, so it is fine. Let's actually make it a little lower. That's better now. Alright, let's add more colors. So I will create a layer below this one. And I will be using the same color, but switching to soft brush. The opacity is at 85% and the size is at 8%. I will draw an arc from here, following the shape of this edge. Making the strokes this way. And I'm not pressing, because if we press, we will get this glow. Now let me switch to this light yellow. And I will paint above. Now let me pick this pink and add more color in the same manner. I will increase the size here and continue going up on the edge. Let's now select the smudge tool that is also set to soft brush. Opacity is at 87%. Here I will make the size bigger to blend this color with the background on top. Now let's make the size smaller to blend the colors in the middle. I'm making these transitions between three colors soft. And it is already glowing. I will just make a few strokes downwards to reveal this dark violet. Okay, I think this is enough now. I will draw on the opposite side using only two colors. Let's start with this pink. So I'll make the size 12% and start drawing from here. Not pressing. Continue drawing under this line. And then switch to yellow. Draw more here. Also no pressure, doing everything gradually. Now let's blend the colors again. Here I will blend it with the background. And that's it. We can add more details. I will draw the stars. So let me pick this color. And I will create a layer here, under the trees, but above all lights. I used to make the stars simply using monoline from calligraphy, drawing these dots. but now I created a special brush for this, that you will also find in the bundle. The size is almost at maximum, and I will start making these strokes all over the canvas, but mostly on these dark parts. Drawing very many stars, because they are tiny. Okay. Now let's change the layers mode to add as well. And to make them shine, I will apply Gaussian blur. Around 2%. Now I want to add a few bigger stars that will be more visible. So I will create one more layer and change the color into this yellow. Here I will be using the stamp from my space set. If you don't have the set, you will also find this brush in the bundle for this tutorial. Let's start with the 5% size. And I will tap. Maybe that's too big. Let's try 3%. I'll tap more. Then make the size even smaller, like 2%. And add a few stars of this size. Okay, let's also change the mode to add. I will lower the opacity of this layer to 70%. If you already watched any of my tutorials, you might have noticed that after I finish the project, I sometimes play around with colors to enhance them. So let's do the same now. Before that, let's make sure we are on top layer, that is the one with the trees. Go to Actions, Add, copy canvas and paste it. We will get all layers merged, including the background color, and placed on one layer that will appear on top. Now we can work with it. So I will go to Adjustments and select Color Balance. Apply it on the layer. Here I will move this slider towards yellow. Maybe we can add a bit more red. And try some greens or magenta, it's up to you. I think these colors look a little better, so I will keep them. Now let's add some noise on the image. For that I will go to Adjustments again and pick Noise from the list. I will also apply it on the layer. First let me set turbulence and octaves to maximum. And I will slide to the right. I don't want to make the texture too intense. So I think 16.5 or 17% will work fine here. We can still see it, but it's not so obvious. After all these manipulations, our drawing is ready. Thank you so much to those who already subscribed to my channel. Your likes, comments and shares are highly appreciated. Don't forget to tag me in your Instagram posts and check out my Patreon if you'd like to unlock more tutorials and brush sets. See you soon!